ever feel that no matter what you do, you just can't get ahead and then you get really down on yourself about that? Well, when Venus enters Virgo on July 9th and meets up with the South Node of Karma, we might be feeling that a little bit. But you know what? We can shift this feeling and this money story, and we can use the energies to get out of scarcity and beating ourselves up and get into a new money flow. Are you with me? Because the astrology will explain the why. The tarot is going to give us the how. Let's see what's headed your way. Coffee up, friends. Okay, before you go rushing ahead to your specific sign reading, there is something you really need to know about this Venus and Virgo situation so that you can make the most of it. Let me give you the TLDR. Venus in Virgo feels like she has to be perfect and earn every cent, and she does really get down on herself when her bank account is a little low, because then she feels like, what the F is wrong with me? So then Venus in Virgo tries to improve by criticizing herself. But honestly, when has being mean to yourself actually helped you manifest more money and pay your bills? No, it doesn't happen that way. Here's the thing. You do not have to fix yourself in order to deserve abundance. Claim that for me in the comments. Type claim. Virgo's ruler, Mercury, is retrograde in Cancer right now as well. So yeah, old money stories are resurfacing. Old money hurts, sensitivities. And in true Virgo hypercritical fashion, we might be using our past mistakes, and we all have them, to beat ourselves up even more. Stop the insanity. Let's end this cycle once and for all. And that's how the South Node can help us in this situation, to release this unhelpful story we are telling about ourselves, about what we deserve, and, how that keeps us stuck. We all deserve abundance. We all do. We're going to get it. Let's get it. Let's see what the tarot has to say for your sign. All right, Aries, let's get a money message for you and see what you need to know. The energies you can work with to get in better financial flow instead of beating yourself up over past money things. All right, Aries, let's see. What do you need to know? Aries, here's our Virgo, the Hermit, and a 5 of coins. Isn't this interesting? And an Ace of Wands. Okay. So you're going to have a whole new reset of your energy. I think that is the thing here. So we start with this Hermit, which can be that you've been doing a lot of spiritual reflection, or maybe that is what is needed during this particular transit to rethink ways in which, yes, perhaps you've had your hand out and the universe did not deliver. Is there any resentment, feeling left out in the cold? Because, maybe, you were asking, believing, and receiving, or hoping to receive this Hermit. You were really spiritually dialed in, working your manifestation law of attraction plan. And yet still at the end of the month, you were sitting there with your hand out. Hello, where's this other income that I still need? So I think this is a time to reset your energy about this and to let go of any resentment. This is the thing, with this Mercury retrograde in Cancer is a very interesting tie-in to this whole situation of Venus in Virgo. So where are there perhaps family of origin issues, because Mercury's retrograde in your 4th house that are affecting your financial well-being? Do you have holdover energy about deservingness and about abundance and how hard it has to be, to get what you need? So there could be things to look at about that, especially if you are in some sort of resentment about lack right now. So, you are really trying to make spiritual sense of your money situation right now with this Virgo Hermit. You are looking to shine light on what you need to know. You are willing to do the work. Absolutely. And that's what I would say that Virgo light with the Hermit needs to shine on, is how can you forge a more independent path for yourself in whatever way? This Ace of Wands. This could be you totally cutting the cord, maybe with some sort of cord cutting ceremony of, as I said, past karma, past holdovers, spiritual stuff, baggage from your family. This could be starting your own business, your own income stream in some way. Virgo is your 6th house of work and well-being, so it could be something along these lines as well. Maybe you need an independent source of income that you feel more in control over. Maybe your well-being is saying, can I shift more into my spirituality instead of constantly worrying and fretting? Can I put my energy of worry and fretting into starting something new? Because that's the thing too about the Virgo, right? It can be this analysis paralysis, where you're just constantly in that state of anxiety. And then when you're in that state, usually you can't create new things. You can't take new bold actions with the Ace of Wands. And that's what this is requiring of you, I think. And this is your energy, this Ace of Wands. So that's what I think here. Like, fives are about shift. So there is something that you are spiritually shifting about your money beliefs, family of origin stuff, and how hard does it have to be? It doesn't have to be hard. There can be something here about more alignment with your own energy versus, trying to fit the round peg in the square hole. So there could be something like that. Like, your well-being. Are you sacrificing your own well-being in ways to earn money that are not aligned for you? So there really is something here about what you're looking at and shifting spiritually, and also what you are actually doing in the material world. And this Ace of Wands is saying to me, there needs to be a new beginning in this material world. That if you keep thinking that you're going to create abundance from the old ways of this, keep settling for less or thinking it's so hard, that's not how it's going to happen. So that is something very interesting to think about during this transit of Venus through Virgo. Letting go of the ways in which you sacrifice in service, but what about in service to yourself? All right, Taurus, let's get a message for you for this Venus in Virgo transit. Of course, what your ruling planet is up to is important, Venus being your ruling planet. Mercury retrograde in your 3rd house of making decisions. So you could be rethinking about how you want to use your creative energy to manifest more abundance with this Venus transit of your 5th house. All right, let's see. We have a Queen of Wands. We have a Knight of Wands. And we have a 4 of Wands. Look at all of this fiery energy here. So I think what's happening here for you is that internally, there is a fire bubbling up from within. And there is something I think you want to move on quickly. But that's a little unlike you, right? Because you tend to take your time, which is a good thing, in my opinion. But I feel like there's some sort of passionate agenda that is swirling and swirling within you to make very fast progress. Like, that's what you want with this Knight of Wands. Like, you want your business ideas, your money life, your creative life force energy to be transformed from within you to an outward way to move very quickly toward a new money path with this 4 of Wands that is showing up here. Mercury's retrograde, as I said, in your 3rd house of communications and your mind. So this is really not a time to move fast on new agendas because Mercury's retrograde. It is a time for reflection, especially with you having that happening in your 3rd house. So there could be something to look at in terms of, why is this fire burning so bright? What do you hope to accomplish with it? What is this new business goal that you have for yourself? What is this money path that you want to have opening up for you? And how can you stay in that burst of creative energy, that fire and that passion, instead of talking yourself out of it or criticizing it, analyzing it to death. This is not energy that is overanalyzed. This is instinctual. This is, I feel it, I'm going to go get it. Okay. Now, Venus going through this Virgo, that's not how Venus operates in Virgo. As I said in the prelude to this video, Venus is hypercritical, hyper-focused, hyper looking for flaws in any plan. And, some of these things, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but that's diametrically opposed to what is going on here with these particular cards that we just pulled for you. So it might be a better time when Venus goes into Libra on August 6th for you to move forward with some new creative agenda, to move forward with this fiery plan in your heart that you want to manifest. Okay, so timing is everything, Use the Venus and Virgo energy to just maybe see where you might trip yourself up in being hypercritical of your creations and your desires, because we're talking about your 5th house. Is this desire sustainable for you over the longer term? I think it is from these cards that we have pulled, but this could be the question to ask yourself during a Mercury retrograde in your 3rd house of your brain, and also this Venus in your 5th house of your heart and your creativity. Once you get started on this path, like once this thing starts moving forward, are you still going to be invested in it? Is this truly what your heart wants? It seems so. Okay, so let me know in the comments. Maybe you're looking, here's another thing too. You might be looking for an absolute perfect, that's very Virgo, right? The perfect foolproof plan, like something that's going to be a guaranteed success. Life does not work like that. So that's another thing. I think here with this sustained momentum, the thing with this fire energy is it can burn itself out. And yeah, I know you're a Taurus. You can have staying power for the long term. Absolutely. But these are the questions and the energies that I would suggest that you look at, and whatever you're moving toward, whenever you set out on this path, it might be better when Venus has entered Libra to do it. So take this time to reflect, see if this is just a flash in the pan, a little spark, or is it something that you really want to build into a roaring bonfire and sustain over the long term. But sometimes you have to get on the road and get on this path to see how things are going to play out as well. Because as I said, nothing is foolproof or guaranteed. And Virgo can think that that is a reason not to do it. Okay. Nitpicky Virgo. Well, it's not guaranteed, so we shouldn't try. That's something to really take a look at, because this is telling me, these energies here are telling me, I think you really do want to go for it. So there could be something to not talk yourself out of during this Venus and Virgo transit. All right, Gemini, let's see what you need to know about this Venus and Virgo transit. Shifting into financial flow. Mercury is retrograde in your 2nd house of show me the monies. And Venus is in your 4th house of home and family. So let's see what we got going on here. We have a 5 of Cups. We have a 4 of Cups. And we have a 2 of Cups. All right. So 2 opportunities are coming in, I think, for you. It's interesting. We always, we have these 2 cups that are still waiting in the 5 of Cups. But then look, you had the 2 cups over here. One is coming in. So this could be back-to-back situations flowing in for you. So one may be coming in this Venus and Virgo. One may be coming when Venus is in Libra starting August 6th. That's one way to look at this particular situation. But here's the thing. It's important to still have hope in your heart. There could have been a disappointment recently with this 5 of Cups, within the last, I would say, 5 weeks. And we don't ever want to spiritually bypass and not feel our feelings. Okay. No, you got to feel it to free it. Absolutely. So, but this is still lingering a little bit, and that's okay. Maybe it was a significant disappointment when it comes to your money in some way, or something you were trying to do to secure your financial foundation. That's also very fourth house. There's something maybe even connected with a home or family or roommate situation or something like that. Something you're trying to build a foundation on. And so, now you're in the Four of Cups energy. I mean, this may still be coming. That's possible as well. And, the Four of Cups can be like, why bother? Why should I keep trying? And this can get you in the downward spiral of a Mercury retrograde, because remember, that's your ruling planet also. Of, oh my God, I made the wrong decision and now my money's suffering and how am I going to afford my rent and how is this happening? Okay. And Venus in Virgo, as I said in the prelude to this video, is very good at beating herself up and going into this vortex of like, I'm never going to climb out of my situation. That's not true. Okay, that's not true. You are very resourceful, very smart, very savvy, and the universe does want to support us. I believe the universe is benevolent. I don't believe we're in some sort of struggle with the universe. The universe does have our back. The universe does want good things for us. Absolutely. So I think, you're working with this Venus and Virgo energy to remain hopeful, to keep your eye on the prize with this Four of Cups, despite the fact that, we have a Five of Cups situation, okay? But as I said, there is an important meeting. There is an important negotiation. There is an important offer. There is something to be discussed with somebody else that is good. The Two of Cups is a great card. I love a Two of Cups because this to me is energy that is reciprocal. They want good stuff for you. You want good stuff for them in whatever context this applies in your life. So I feel like the universe is trying to arrange things to make up for whatever happened over here and to bring in new possibilities for you. So the way to work with this energy and get in the flow of this coming in, and like I said, I think there's two things, is to do your best to not allow yourself to spiral downward or to get in I don't care mode. Because guess what? If you don't care, the universe is not going to care either. So still care about your future. Still invest your energy in your future. Do the best you can to feel optimistic every day. Maybe, the Four of Cups, you see he's looking up here. Instead of looking down at the ground and at the grass, like in the normal tarot with the Four of Cups, look upward. Look upward to the vision that you have for your life. Maybe this is a good time for you to make a new vision board or revise the one you already have. Have some sort of new vision for your life. Now that you know whatever this is over here ain't gonna work out, do your best to accept it and stay positive for a new direction in your life. But more importantly, create a new vision for your life. A vision that you have for the foundation that you want to build in your life. And again, this Venus is happening in your fourth house. And this can have energies connected with where you're living, how you're living, and who you're living with as well. Cancer, we have a Mercury retrograde in your sign right now until the 23rd of July. And we have Venus in Virgo in your third house of your mind. Okay. So as I said in the prelude to this video, Venus in Virgo can get a little down on herself. And when there's a Mercury retrograde in your sign in your first house, are you rethinking your whole life? Are you rethinking all of your choices? Are you rethinking your values, your whole money situation? Did you make mistakes? Are you beating yourself up? This may be very appropriate for you considering the Mercury retrogrades in your sign. Let's see what we need to know about this. We got to shift out of this so that you can get into financial flow, more flow. That's what we want. We want to shift this money story, whatever this is that's been going on. Let us see. A 5 of Cups. You saw me shuffle. We just had this for Gemini. And now we have a Knight of Cups. Okay. And we have a Page of Cups. All right. So lots of emotional shifting energy here. We got Pisces showing up. All right. So here is the thing. And it dovetails with a little of what I was saying to Gemini as well. But yours is more about having that innocent belief and faith in the fact that you can always grow and change and transform and expand. And this also could be connected with your own artistry in some way, or, your life force energy, the things that you create, your own business, if you have one. So yes, there could have been some recent disappointment here with the 5 of Cups. Maybe it's on its way now. It just depends on your personal situation as you are watching this. As we know, there's always 2 other cups showing up here. And guess what? Here we have 2 cups. We have a Page of Cups and we have a Knight of Cups. So as I said to Gemini, there can be 2 new possibilities coming in for you with this, okay? Maybe one is coming now with the Venus in Virgo. Maybe one is coming when Venus moves into Libra on August 6th. That is possible. We don't ever want to just spiritually bypass our feelings. Feel whatever the sadness is. Feel it to free it. But yes, there is an emotional shift on the horizon for you with this Knight of Cups out of this, whatever 5 of Cups represents for you. There can be a very important message. There could be an important meeting. There can be an offer. Both of these are energies of offers. One is more about the energy of change. Like, can you change your emotional situation to accept a new emotional reality in order to shift your financial flow? It's the type of thing, maybe you had your heart set on something and it didn't work out. Like you just wanted that one real job. That job, you had to have that one. And maybe it didn't work out for whatever reason. So now this energy is saying, well, can you accept that emotional reality and shift into one where something better aligned for you with this Page of Cups is coming into view? The Pisces energy, the surprise twist. You might surprisingly find yourself in a situation that is much better for you when it comes to your finances. But again, this Venus is in the 3rd house of your brain. There's something here for you to, yes, rethink and shift within your own energy, the way you're thinking about the situation and processing it emotionally, especially also with Mercury retrograde in your sign, right? Our energy, Mercury of our brain anyway, and Venus in your 3rd house of your thinking. So that is the thing, there is something here, I think, that's going to come into your life that has much more emotional freedom, expansion, and creativity to it. It's not about trying to pick apart the flaws in it. It's not about, as I was saying to Gemini and to Taurus, to find the guarantee, because there are no guarantees in life. This is much more about something that is emotionally aligned with your energy and your intuition and your creativity. Those are the criteria through which to evaluate whatever these offers are that look to be on the horizon for you. Not nitpicking it to death with this Venus in Virgo. Or questioning yourself, well, am I worth it? This didn't work out over here, so that probably may not work out either. It's very easy with Venus and Virgo, as I said, to just go in that downward spiral of, it's not going to work out for me. I think it can work out for you, provided that you consciously and proactively make an internal and external shift in your world, in your emotions, in your thinking. And I think also with this Knight of Cups, there may be something to physically move yourself out of, an energy vibe that is not healthy for you as well. That is something to consider. All right, Leos. So you have an interesting situation. You have Venus in your 2nd house of values and show me the money, which is interesting as a Leo to have Virgo as your 2nd house, which, as we've been saying in the prelude to this video, a Venus Virgo negative situation can be excessive self-criticism, nitpicking, overanalysis, analysis paralysis, beating yourself up, etc. Then we have Mercury retrograde in your 12th house, which can be about old karmic situations, old money stories that never seem to end. And it can also be it's the house of self-undoing. So it can be stories and communications and connections that aren't good for you in some way, but you keep repeating them anyway, or you keep engaging with them anyway, and thus undo financial progress or get stuck in some way. And then you nitpick and get down on yourself. Okay. So, every sign has the positive and negatives. Venus and Virgo can be a very good money manager of the resources because they are analytical, but they can also get in that trap of blocking stuff because of the perfectionism and being super self-critical. Okay. So these are the things to be looking at right now to unblock this money flow. Is there a karmic script that you have been running about your life when it comes to money that is unhealthy and that needs to be healed and released? This is the time to do it right now. Perfect time. All right, Leos, let us see. We have a 2 of Cups. Whoops. We have a 7 of Wands. And we have an Ace of Coins. I can't but. That's what I heard in my ear. I can't but. Well, maybe you can. Ace of Coins. But it's going to be your decision. It's the ace. It's, This 2 of Cups, I love a 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups is great because it suggests mutual goodwill. It suggests a very important meeting, a negotiation, a discussion where both energies are really trying to work something out, are trying to come to a mutually beneficial agreement. But what's going on here? The 7 of Wands. This is boundaries are up. I'm ready to stand and fight. This is antagonism energy. This can feel a little like a chip on your shoulder that everybody's coming at you. Everybody wants something from you. That can be the energy that needs to be shifted. Because both of these are excellent. 2 of Cups and an Ace of Coins. But who's standing in the middle? You are. What's the blockage? You are. Okay? Because that is actually our end of July Leo energy, the 7 of Wands. So there is something here like being defensive and not accepting maybe help from the universe, not accepting a good word from somebody else who's trying to help you because, Leo pride. Leo pride. I mean, I have Mars in Leo. I get it. But again, this goes back to this mindset shift. And, the Virgo can be very much with the second house Virgo for you. Well, and the Leo pride, right? Like, well, I should be able to do it all on my own. And if I can't, then somehow there's a flaw within me. Something is wrong with me. We all need a little help from our friends. We get by with a little help from our friends. The friend can be a friend, can be the universe. Whoever this 2 of Cups, whatever this 2 of Cups is. Now I got that song stuck in my brain. Okay, but seriously, there's something here about letting down your defenses to bring in better money flow and accepting connections and help from genuine people, not people who just, want to use you or something like that. No. We're not saying that, but something genuine. Because look at this big money seed here. This is beautiful. This Ace of Coins, you could be planting a beautiful new money seed for yourself by the time this transit is wrapping up, which doesn't happen until August 6th when Venus will move into Libra. We have Mercury retrograde until July 23rd. So, keep kind of the time frames in mind. But this is a really good time to let go of old money baggages, let go of any defensiveness, and see how the universe wants to put a beautiful opportunity in your way. Get out of your own way. All right, Virgo. So Venus is in your sign. This is awesome. When we have Venus transiting our own sign, it can bring us gifts, goodies, and benefits. And with Mercury retrograde in your 11th house of hopes and wishes and dreams and personal gains, there could be some good money news that's like payback for previous good karma that you created. There could be something from your past that's that Mercury retrograde, your ruling planet, connected with an old friend, a colleague, a network association, something of a wish that you had previously. Maybe you're reigniting a wish or a wish you thought wasn't going to happen, a dream you thought wasn't going to happen. Maybe it's getting reignited under this particular transit. That's possible. But here's the thing. Now, I love y'all. I love Virgos. Okay. So this is not any disrespect to Virgos. And every sign has positives and negatives, every single sign. Okay. And we're looking at energy archetypes, not you personally. Okay. But Venus and Virgo, the energy that can be not great about it is the stuff I said in the prelude to the video of nitpicky and going in this downward spiral, super self-critical. And yes, with the Mercury retrograde in the 11th house, it can be like the negative connotation can be I'm beating myself up because a certain dream I had didn't happen yet or didn't happen in the way it should have. Okay. So there could be stuff like that that's coming up for you right now. Look at it, rethink it. That's what a Mercury retrograde is for. Make peace with whatever you need to make peace with from your past about some dream, I think, that you want to have happen in your life. And we'll take it from there because, again, Venus is in your sign until August 6th. Okay, so we have some time to work with this energy. But let's clear out a blockage where you're beating yourself up because you do have such high standards and you're being maybe a little too harsh on yourself. All right, we don't want that. Let's see. Let's see what we got, Virgo. Ace of Wands, beautiful. And the Four of Swords, yeah. And the Six of Coins, okay. This is interesting. All right. I feel like there is something you have very badly wanted to start to make happen in your world. This Ace of Wands, like, you want to get something going, a new beginning for yourself very, very badly. And you have a lot of passion and a lot of drive and a lot of hot feelings about it. It's like, I want this in my life. This must start building and growing. And it's probably connected with business because it's the Wands. Okay. It could be your well-being, your just general well-being. That's also possible. Your physical well-being. But look, we have a Four of Swords, which is, the universe put you in a timeout or you put yourself in a timeout. Like I said, there was something that didn't start yet. And I think you've been beating yourself up over it. That's why I was laughing when I saw the Four of Swords, because how affirming is that? It's totally affirming. But this can also signify a little bit of this Mercury retrograde. Like, this desire can still happen for you. And in fact, I think something's going to get jump started with it. It's coming. The Six of Coins is here. But in the meantime, there is, I think, something for you to look at and redream this desire that you have, this Ace of Wands. The Four of Swords, dream time, sleep time, taking moments, a time out, meditate, tune in, be with yourself spiritually. Let your mind rest a little bit instead of, this agitated focus on this Ace of Wands. There could be something to get deeper into this desire. Dream it a little deeper, like really fall into it. And do you still want it? Is there parts of this dream you would like to tweak and change in some way? Like if you were creating a vision board about this particular thing you want so badly in your life, would that vision look different now, that vision board, than maybe it did a year ago or 4 months ago, even with the Four of Swords? So we're always about using the energies here on this channel. So use this Mercury retrograde to rethink this dream, because then here comes, I'm just going to say it. I do think this is when Venus goes into Libra, because this is the Libra energy. We have the sign right here on the card. And this is a gift from the universe. This is the door open. This is the tangible situation, the seed money, the opportunity, the introduction to somebody who could start making this happen for you. Things finally starting to move, but in a balanced way. It is, Libra after all, but in a way that is grounded. So I think this is also going to be energy that is in play in your birthday season as well, the Six of Coins. The universe did not forget about you. I think the universe has something better in mind for you. And using this Venus and Virgo time in your sign is a good thing to just as I said, tune in with yourself again in terms of what do you really want? Because things may have shifted and things may still be shifting. We're not done with this retrograde until the 23rd of July. There's maybe other things you're going to be reconsidering. But here comes that Six of Coins, which is really nice because that is your second house of money, the Libra. So that may be when, as I said, the resources, the universe starts answering the call to give you what you need to get this underway. All right, Libras. So Venus, your ruling planet, is in the sign behind yours, which is your 12th house of karmic wrap-ups, things kind of being in the shadows, but it's a house of endings. We have Mercury retrograde in your 10th house of career and the public. So this could be an opportunity for you to wrap up and make a decision about something related to your public profile, things you do in the public, and also with your career in some way. Like you could be rethinking some important career matters. You probably will want to act on those decisions when Venus is in your sign starting August 6th. This is the reevaluation time for you. But I do feel there's something here about, moving along with something. But we have to wait also, I think, until Mercury gets out of retrograde on the 23rd, because there could be more information coming. And you don't want to make a hasty decision either. But also, you could be, as we said in the prelude to this video, Venus and Virgo can be beating yourself up. Like you could be beating yourself up and wrestling with a decision to end something and feeling like, you're a failure to end it, or there's something wrong with you. This is, again, is the Virgo energy, the Venus and Virgo being overly harsh and critical, that, you want to call something quits, or you have to admit to yourself it's not as far along as you would like it. And so you got to regroup on a plan. That's another possibility here. Okay, so let us see. Let's get some advice for you, Libras. What do you need to know about this? Gorgeous. A Wheel of Fortune. Excellent. And the Emperor. Beautiful. And the Three of Coins. All right. So we got some Aries energy showing up here. We have the beautiful Jupiter and Leo energy with the wheel. We have you making executive decisions. We have you with this Three of Coins here, really focused on a plan that you are constructing. I think you already have an idea of a direction you would like to go in. The matter here, the fact of the matter is, it needs to be in the universe's timing. There is an energetic cycle that needs to wrap up first. And I think that's the Mercury retrograde. Okay. Jupiter has moved into Leo, your 11th house of hopes and wishes and dreams. So I think you're putting the final touches, this Emperor, with your executive decision-making skills of what do you want this new dream to be for yourself? What has to wrap up first, especially in career? I mean, we're talking about the 10th house with the Mercury retrograde, and we got the number 10 showing up here. How are your obligations and responsibilities to other people figuring also into this with the 7th house showing up, and Saturn is there, as is Neptune, which just went retrograde. So there can be getting clarity about your connections with other people, especially when it comes to career and business partnerships and business activities. But I think too, with this Aries, there can be something going on here where you want to make a revision to your plan, so your career plans, that maybe has more of your own your own energy, your own needs, your own decision-making at the forefront. In other words, I think you're putting yourself to the top of your priority list. That's what I think is going on here. But this is the time, like, to really be making the plan, rethinking, looking at your life objectively, being the chief executive of your life to make these decisions to move forward. And sometimes in order to move forward, we have to end something first. And that's that Venus in that 12th house with the Mercury retrograde in your, 10th house of career. But it's the timing. That's the thing with the wheel. I think you're going to be moving into a very productive cycle in your life. Very, very productive. It is more than likely coming, as I said, once Venus enters your sign. Make your plans accordingly. Work with the timings that are presented here. Don't try to force something to happen. Tie up the loose ends you need to tie up so you can move forward in a very clear and commanding way. All right, Scorpio. So Venus is in Virgo, your 11th house of hopes and wishes and dreams. And we have a Mercury retrograde in your 9th house of expansion and growth in Cancer. So yeah, you could be beating yourself up going, well, how come this particular dream I have has not materialized yet? Is my own growth stunted in some way? Like, I am rethinking how I want to grow and expand in my life. The trips I want to take, the things I want to learn, the businesses on the internet I want to build, any writing projects I might want to do, like all of these things, 9th house matters. You could be rethinking, well, are these still appropriate for me? And with the Venus going into the Virgo, the 11th house, yeah, there can be this energy of, well, maybe it's just not possible for me. So I'm just going to give up. That's the shadow side of the Venus in Virgo, and especially meeting up with the South Node. But it's time to let that go. I think for you, it's more about quality versus quantity. Okay, so with this Mercury retrograde in this 9th house, like, we can't do everything. It's just we don't have the time at our disposal to do everything. We have to sequence things. We have to decide on our priorities. And so I would say that for you is paramount with this energy. You are not a failure. There is still time to do the things and fulfill the dreams that you have in your heart. But we've got to be strategic and sequence them. Okay? And that's going to involve some rethinking about, well, what comes first in that sequence. It doesn't mean we just give up in despair. All right, let us see. And that can bring in the flow. What do we have here? We have a 3 of coins. And we have the moon. And we have the page of coins. Okay, this is very good. This, I think, is a lot about getting some clarity about the focus of the plan. Here's the 3 of coins. Like, how do I build this thing? When do I build it? In which sequence do I build these dreams? Moon, Cancer energy, doubts, fears, shadowy energy. I can't see clearly. Like, I get started on something and then I doubt it. Very Virgo also. But here's the beautiful page of coins, which can be about research. It can be about having these facts at your disposal, having something in your hand that is solid that you can move forward with. So I think this Mercury retrograde is absolutely a good time for you to delve deep. That's very Scorpio, right? Love to dive deep into the light and the shadows of what's ever going on for you with these plans that you would like to set in motion to grow your life in whatever way you would like to expand and grow. The moon is showing up here. It's our emotions. Mercury's retrograde in Cancer. Moon, our emotions. So yes, maybe, how we can be Scorpio, right? Is a fixed energy. Like, we get stubborn. We get stuck and fixated on something, which can also be this card for me, this 3 of coins. Do you need to change your mind? about how you want to grow and what direction you want to grow in. And that's okay. Are you beating yourself up because you changed your mind? It's okay to change your mind. So that could be that too. Or is there shadowy stuff associated with these plans and dreams you want to set in motion? So like, are you doing it for the right reasons? Are you doing it for your reasons or somebody else's reasons? Okay, so there could be like these things that you're looking at here. So that, yes, you can manifest a dream with precision, which can be the promise in the positive sense of Venus and Virgo. Not, just giving up on dreams and because we're criticizing ourselves and going in a downward spiral of self-doubt. No. Okay, so this Page of Coins is very, very good. As I said, holding the opportunity in your hand. But I do think there's something here to process with, finding out what that is exactly, to see if it's still aligned for you. And I feel like it does have something also to do with, some sort of maybe income stream or business you want to build, or if you already have one, like getting that going maybe a little bit better for yourself. It could be something also that you want to study. And again, are you studying it for the right reasons before you invest all this time and energy into it? So there could be that as well. There could be decisions about going back to school. And not that that's wrong or anything, but you may decide, you know what, I really don't want to do that quite yet, or I want to do it for this topic, not this topic. So there could be those types of things also happening for you. But give yourself the permission to change your mind. So Sagittarius, this is a real interesting one for you because, of course, Virgo is your 10th house of career and the public. And so when Venus transits there, it can be very helpful to, maybe bring us more money from what we do for a living, put us in the spotlight where we get some recognition, hopefully that comes with some money. But, like we said in the prelude to this video, Venus meets up with the South Node right away. So is there a tendency to beat yourself up? Are you being super critical right now of yourself when it comes to your financial situation? Also because, if you feel like you're not where you want to be, we have Mercury retrograde in your 8th house of other people's resources. So it could be like, well, how come, all of a sudden an income stream dried up? Or why is the bank not giving me the loan? Or why is this happening when it comes to this funding I'm trying to get, or this tax situation, or why is my boss acting like a jerk when I asked for a raise, etc. You see what I'm saying? So there can be also, 8th house is shadowy stuff. So you could be in this process of deeply rethinking the shadow side, or maybe you're trying to run away from the shadow side of dealing with resources, yours, other people's, this intermingling of resources, wanting to manifest more resources, but then also feeling like, oh, it hasn't happened for me. The shadow side of the Virgo, I'm just going to give up. It's not meant for me. Something's wrong with me. I have something flawed within me. No. Okay. Yes. Mercury's retrograde in your 8th house. So it is important to maybe look at how you're saving money. How are you going into debt or not going into debt? Be honest with yourself about your finances, not to beat yourself up, but to know how you can change things and use the energies. And also it's Mercury. It's about your mind. How can you rethink, the less than savory aspects of dealing with other people's resources, of manifesting more resources? Especially debt. There's something there important to look at, I think. Okay. So Venus and Virgo, is this the time for you to still put yourself out there and go for more money, more responsibility, a higher public profile? Venus can bring opportunities, but we also have to feel that, we're ready to receive them And with Venus in Virgo, the shadow side, we can get nitpicky and down. Like if you're feeling down and telling yourself this story on repeat about how, oh God, I'm just no good with money. Look, I got myself in debt again. Oh my God. Like, you see what I'm saying? Sagittarius. Yeah, Three of Swords. I'm telling you. Oops. And a Seven of Wands. And a Page of Cups. All right, see? So we have an opportunity that would like to present itself. A surprise twist, if you will. But it requires a change of heart. It also requires a little bit of faith in yourself and faith in magic, believing that you can shift out of this particular energy. There's Three of Swords, Seven of Wands. Like this Seven of Wands, very defensive. Three of Swords, heartbreak and blockages in some way. Feeling defensive because maybe, and we've all made money mistakes. You are not the only one. If you've made a money mistake, you are not alone. Okay? But whatever went on with this Three of Swords, having a chip on your shoulder about it is not going to be helpful. That's what I'm saying. The shadow side of this 8th house with the Mercury retrograde in that house for you. It is important for you to look at this and shift it. The Pisces energy is your 4th house of home and family. Maybe this has something to do with something that happened with them or your family of origin and how they handled money and, thoughts and beliefs left over from them in some way. Or yes, maybe a family member, betrayed you, broke your heart when it comes to money. So now, you got that chip on your shoulder, whatever the case may be. But you have an opportunity right now to heal that, to rethink how you're handling that so that you can accept some sort of fresh opportunity to use your beautiful creative energy, to reset emotionally, and to, I think, have some sort of emotional revival with your career. You could be starting a whole new emotional and creative cycle with your career, very, coming up like right now. And if you want to get more money out of that, this is something that needs to be looked at. All right, Capricorn. So Venus is in Virgo, your 9th house of expansion and growth. And she heads right into that south node as she moves into Virgo. And that can bring up all sorts of thinking of lack. Absolutely. It can be like, well, how come I'm only here in my life and I'm not here? Capricorn. I want to ascend that mountain of success. So yeah, it can be, why have I not reached certain goals yet? The Mercury retrograde in your 7th house of other people, I feel like there could be some comparisonitis going on here. Maybe you hear news from an old friend or an ex or something like that. And, it's the keeping up with the Joneses energy. Like their life looks very rosy and they have this and they have that and this door opened for them and that opportunity and this thing and that thing. And you're sitting there going like, hello, universe, what about me? And then you're going into that, the shadow Venus and Virgo thing of downward spiral, beating myself up. Well, something must be wrong with me. I'm not doing it right. Maybe I'm not building the appropriate relationships, or maybe because I am more of a loner and I don't have connections, I'm stuck at this certain level. I mean, all of these are possibilities. Depends on your personal situation. So we want to break out of that so that you can step into greater opportunity and financial flow. So I think there is something to look at here with the Mercury retrograde of any way you're comparing yourself to your past people in your life, or people who suddenly pop in and share all this good news. And you're sitting there going, well, yeah, my good news. Yeah, I bought myself a new air fryer last week. Okay. You're not behind. A Capricorn, I think, always thinks they're behind because they're ruled by Saturn. Okay, you're not behind. You are in perfect timing. So do not get stuck in that Venus in Virgo downward spiral. This is a time for you to use other people's success as inspiration for your own and ways that you can fuel that ninth house of expansion and growth by being inspired by them. Okay, so let us see. And there may be something here for you after Mercury gets out of retrograde. So between, July, let's not say July 23rd, but July 24th until August 6th, when Venus will move into Libra, in that time period to, yes, push yourself out of a comfort zone. And move in a new direction that maybe it could be a little more financially rewarding for you. And again, using other people as inspiration, not as competition or comparison. We're going to have a big full moon in your second house of money at the very end in Aquarius at the end of July. Then we'll have Venus August 6th moving into your 10th house of career. So I think this could be a really instructive time period for you to, see what's working and what's not working. And it all comes back to you and how you're thinking about things, because the ninth house, this Venus ninth house, is also just this higher mind, your life philosophy. So there's something to shift here in order to, call in more. And I think you can start seeing how you can do that with the influences of the full moon in Aquarius and Venus into Libra. Yeah, look, Chariot. It is all up to you. You're in the driver's seat here. And here's the Hierophant. Your fifth house of your heart space and your creative energy. And here's our August energy, this Eight of Wands. Ooh, I'm getting chills. Listen, Capricorn, this is an important preparatory stage for you. And it is about keeping the faith. And it is about taking charge of what you can take charge of. And what you can take charge of are the things that I already mentioned. And I do think there is something here about you getting on some sort of new road that is going to start opening up for you very fast. In fact, I think there could be multiple opportunities on multiple roads. You just don't see them yet. You will see them. You will see them very soon. Because the fact of the matter is, you are going in a different direction than these people that you've been comparing yourself to. You have a whole different agenda. You have a whole different road. You have tons of different opportunities that they don't have. And I would bet they're looking at you the same way. But you don't see that right now because you're caught up. You're caught up in that Mercury retrograde in your seventh house. Okay. But look, we got the Cancer energy showing up here with the Chariot. So you could be also revisiting a road, but that's something you wanted to maybe do before, but it's going to come back in different ways. And there could be a dream that you had with this Faith card that didn't quite pan out, but you were still secretly hoping for it. I think that also could very possibly come back for you. So this is not just the Venus in Virgo or a Mercury retrograde reading here. This also, I think, takes us absolutely into August, into deep August, into like going into the solar eclipse in Leo energy. Here it is. Things are going to pick up for you very fast, which is why it's very important to get your head on straight right now. Aquarius. So we have Venus going into your 8th house of other people's resources. It's a very shadowy house. It's a very karmic house. It's the sex, death, and taxes house. And we have Mercury backwards, going retrograde till the 23rd in your work and well-being house. So are you revisiting themes of lack when it comes to getting paid at your job, getting paid what you're worth, just getting paid in general? Venus meeting up with that South Node as soon as it goes into Virgo. Yeah, there could be self-criticisms about I'm not earning enough. They're not paying me enough. And that, maybe because they don't think I'm worth it, or, oh, did I get passed over for the promotion again? There's, it's something wrong with me, etc. It's like, beating yourself up, being super, critical. No. We don't want to go in that downward spiral. We want to use this information. If something gets revisited with a work situation where, once again, a promise gets made to pay you more, or a promise gets made, they're going to give you more hours. And then when Mercury goes direct, that still has not happened. Then you need to take control of that situation, and you need to start making plans for yourself of how you're going to get the resources that you need and deserve. If they're not going to give them to you, then the ball is in your court. What are you going to do about it? Because you can, argue till you're blue in the face, or ask until, you're blue in the face to get what you deserve. If people are unwilling to give it to you, then you have to make alternative plans. You got to take care of yourself. So there's these types of things that may be going on for you. Something about a revisiting about what you're worth. I think you know you're worth more. Yeah, 9 of coins. There's the Virgo. You know you're worth more money. This is the thing. King of Cups, Cancer energy. And the 5 of coins. This is what I feel. I hope this is going to make sense in explaining this. I do feel you're here. I do feel that you know you're worth more. But it is this situation and this environment that keeps playing the same emotional song of they can't give you more money. No, they probably could, but they don't want to. There's something about this environment, this situation. I'm worried that it's going to turn you from a 9 of coins where you believe in yourself into a 5 of coins where you don't believe in yourself anymore, that it is going to affect your self-worth. So I think there is really something here to be looking at. And this can also be about rethinking if you have your own business, right? 6th house, what you do every day for work. It could be time to rethink your prices and time to charge more. But also with the King of Cups, 5 of coins, I feel like there could be an energy that's very aware of the emotional manipulation it's doing. The sob story about why they can't pay you. You could be dealing with a loan situation. I mean, that's another possibility. Like, let's say you loan somebody some money and maybe they needed it because they were out of work or they didn't feel well. They had some medical bills or something like that. Because I feel like this is your energy, this 9 of coins, and you loan somebody some money. They could keep giving you the sob story about they can't pay you back because blah, 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 la, 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 la. Okay, so again, for your own peace of mind, there could be something here where you either, come to some sort of resolve about it and you let it go so it doesn't affect you. Now, everybody's situation is different. I am not telling you what to do. My point is, there could be an environment that you are in that is not supporting your well-being, first of all, emotionally, but also it's not supporting your financial well-being. And it's time for you to really look at that so that you can go out and get what you deserve. Because I feel it's not a you problem. It's their problem. But it becomes a you problem if you stay stuck in it too long, putting up with it. So Pisces, Venus is entering your 7th house of other people, relationships, business and personal, and meeting up immediately with the South Node. So the shadow side, as we talked about, this uber critical. Could you be like feeling super critical of yourself because of other people? Either they're putting that on you or you're doing the comparison thing. They have this, I don't have that. Is somebody trying to manipulate you and make you doubt yourself when it comes to your financial abilities, or are they trying to get money out of you in some way? And they're saying you're selfish if you don't give it to them. These could be things going on right now. We have Mercury retrograde in your 5th house of your heart space. So, you're really rethinking your emotional commitments and investments. And where do you take care of yourself? Where do you still give appropriately to other people without having it negatively affect your self-esteem or your bank account? There can be something going on here where you're rethinking your goals and what you want out of your life and choosing them more for yourself than what other people think about you or what you think you should be doing. So the thing here too to remember to unlock more financial flow for yourself is to make sure there is a practical balance. Virgo, practical. Venus is about balance. I mean, it rules Libra, right? There is balance and harmony built into Venus's energy. So this is, again, not about you just throwing yourself on the sacrificial altar of what other people want all the time and giving them all your time, money, and attention. And then what about you? So there could be something here that you're really looking at, the shadow side. But this is not about to beat yourself up for past decisions you may have made that were not as boundaried as they could be. This is to just learn from that and move forward and have better boundaries so that financial flow can come in. There can be a shift. All right, let's see what you need to know. Pisces. We have a Knight of Cups. Oops. And we have the beautiful Sun. And we have a King of Wands. Beautiful. So we have the Leo energy showing up very strongly here, which is your 6th house of work and well-being. So that's what I'm saying. I think you are really shifting into a season of taking care of yourself more strongly than you ever have. And as a result, it sounds paradoxical, but it's like the more that you let your light shine, the more that you take care of business, of your own business, the King of Wands, whatever that may be, the more the right opportunities flow to you from the right people. And so there is an emotional shift. Here's the Knight of Cups. That is that Mercury retrograde in Cancer, where you are moving into a new emotional cycle of Leo is associated with the heart too, the Sun card. We are talking about your heart with the Mercury retrograde, but where you're allowing yourself to shine as equally with others, meeting people on an equal playing field when it comes to nurturing, love, care, trust, respect, opportunities, the people you get involved with. Not that, you're always doing the caretaking or dealing with the broken winged birds, as I like to call them. No. There's something very vibrant and healing about this energy. And also with this King of Wands, very assertive of you going out, I think, and living a dream for yourself that's going to bring in more aligned energies and opportunities. That is the thing. But you are in a phase of rethinking that for yourself right now, your dreams. And that's okay with the Mercury retrograde in your 5th house. I do think Leo season is going to be very important for you. I think there might be something you are emotionally releasing, especially at the full moon in Aquarius, which is happening at the very end of July, in Leo season, and it is your 12th house of karmic wrap-ups and endings. We have a big full moon lunar eclipse in your sign also at the end of August. So I think this Venus in Virgo period with the Mercury retrograde is setting you up for a very productive cycle that you're moving into, where you're coming out of some shadowy emotional energy and really stepping into light and freedom and energy that's more aligned for you. And this includes the resources you receive from other people, the time and attention you receive for other people. No more this, you're doing all the giving all the time. No. You're taking care of your well-being in a way that's very different. And also, if this is related to your work life, which it may be, there could be new opportunities for you to step up, to create more income, to have more publicity, more recognition. Yes, perhaps more money. That can also be coming for you. And it's coming from a place not of expecting you to do more, but honoring the energy that you are bringing to the table. So let me know in the comments, are you in? Are you going to use the energies that showed up in today's readings so that you can clear out any of the shadowy side of the Virgo Venus criticisms and blockages so that you can manifest more abundance? Let me know in the comments if you accept this challenge. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you got value out of this video, want to give it a thumbs up, a hype, a share. Doing so really helps my channel and gets these messages out to more people who could benefit from them. And I think people really could benefit from them. You know, it's always about using the energies. And I think we had some very practical insights in this reading from the astrology and the tarot. Food for thought of how we can apply these energies to our lives and create the abundance that we deserve, because we deserve it. Love you guys. Take care. I will see you again soon. Stella Wilde, signing out.